This was my favorite course in Denver. It was the best course in Denver, arguably, because it was pretty difficult. And now is being completely destroyed.
At least that's what's in post on Facebook, led me to believe. We'll see if that's actually the case throughout this video.
As you can see, there's some construction behind me. Someone is putting in some sort of piping, I think. I'm not honestly 100% sure, but it's apparently still playable for now. So we're gonna play it. And I just feel honestly bad for the course designer, Lucas, because he designed this and it's been open for like 7 months. They've taken out so many of the things that made this course great. So we're gonna play, but first there's some changes to the bag. So I wanna talk through those because I actually am gonna be playing some sanctioned stuff here really soon. Then we'll throw 2 off the top and get started. All right, so I'm about to head out for this round and it's kind of getting to the point where I'm about to be playing some sanctioned events and I don't want my full Disc Life Crisis bag on the same way that I did at the beginning of this off season. There's no like limit though of what I can and can't take out. And sorry for not doing as much of like the, hey, on the community poll, choose which discs to come in and out. Because honestly, I've only played with this bag maybe 4 or 5 times. I just really have not played that much disc golf almost at all. So I'm gonna be changing some of the discs in here. I'm gonna be keeping the P2Xs. I do like them. I'm excited to compare these with PA3s as well as a couple other discs, likely Wizards and Sonars from DGA. But let's start from drivers out. I'm actually gonna replace 2 drivers, the Gannon Cloudbreaker and the Time Lapse, and actually put in a Gravity Bomb. One of these bad boys. But I think I really like this orange one instead of the Time Lapse. I was thinking about putting it in the bag and now I'm officially gonna be doing it. Now I have that and I have the Wild Honey, which is my understable. Now I just need a straight one, which I think I'm actually gonna go with a Finish Line Interval, a disc that I really liked for a long time. This one is a little domey. I like the purple. I really like this forged plastic. They also have them in the glow, which are a little more overstable, but also a little slicker for the winter time. And so the extra grip here is really nice. I have this interval. I also have this P&W swing stamped one, and whichever one's a little flatter. Ooh, this P&W swing stamped one actually might feel a little better on my forehand. I would honestly just take this white one, which is one of the first ones that Drew sent me. Very similar feeling, but it's white and it's snow on the ground. So we'll put the interval in the bag. So now we have PD2, interval, Wild Honey. TD and Avenger SS are honestly both on the chopping block. I'm for sure taking out the Avenger SS for something else that's pretty understable. And I'm gonna just put back in one of my Tour Series Sphinxes. I really like that disc. I think just for fun, I have this really cool kind of yellow one that I've never thrown before, but it's a 169. So I think it'll be a little more understable than the other ones that I throw. So hold turn a little bit better. So we're just gonna throw this one in the bag. The TD, I think I'm also gonna leave the bag. And you know, one disc that a lot of people were a little disappointed that I didn't actually put in the bag because it was on the chopping block was this Tesla. This one is white, so that's a little less than ideal. It's either gonna be between the Tesla and the Roman, and I think because you guys were so disappointed that or a lot of you guys were disappointed I took out the Tesla from the bag, we'll put it back in the bag. It got traded for the Avenger SS, and the TD kind of shifted slots from understable to slightly overstable. So I'll put this in there. It's like a PD style disc, almost like a 10-speed. I wish I could like dye this immediately, but hopefully we don't lose it. Tesla goes in the bag. Next up, we have the straight and understable and overstable 7 and 8 speeds. This Passion staying in the bag. This Weapon also staying in the bag. Going to be very similar to the Tesla, but not quite go as far and maybe be slightly more overstable. Don't really have still a lot of overstability. And for the courses I'm going to be playing for these potential couple sanctioned events, I don't know if that's going to be great. But the Millet, it's good, but it's a little more finicky than I thought. So I threw some good shots with it. I liked it, but it's coming out of the bag. I don't even know if I want to replace it though, to be honest with you. I have a Nuance from Thought Space. That could be a good option. I could put this Current in the bag for a Meridian, but they were a little straighter than I anticipated. I have the Brave from Latitude 64. Ooh, I do miss Latitude. I do like Latitude a lot, and I also like Isaac a lot. So we're putting the Brave in. I was really debating putting in the new 9-speed from Latitude, the Sweep, but instead we'll put in this nice, beautiful blue Brave, little hyzer flip to turn guy. Pretty understable, but a little more consistent I found than the Millet. Mid-ranges. I've not thrown the Sky Goat almost at all, and I still don't know if we will that much this video. It's really nice, understable. I'm gonna be filming with the full starter set here soon. Pyro is gone. The Eagle McMahon Fission Pyro out of the bag, and we're gonna put something else overstable in there. I'm trying to see if I have any good ones. I do really like this Ravine, but I think it's pretty different than the MD1. Ooh, MD4 would be another option. You know, we'll find out in this video. I'm gonna bring out the Birdie Disc Golf Supply Rise. I'm gonna bring out the Birdie Rise as well as the Ravine. They're both like slightly overstable backhand mids because I am gonna be changing out a forehand mid, unfortunately. But we'll bring both these out and decide which one will stay after this round. And now we're getting into the 3 putters / approach discs. This A3, I actually learned a lot about how to throw it better, but it's not like a style disc that I would see myself throwing. So unfortunately, this one's out. I did throw it more than I expected, but a disc that I really loved that I want to put back in the bag because I put it in right before I changed my bag and made all those rules is the Finish Line Disc Chicane. It's kind of like a zone style disc, honestly almost more like a drop. And I have the pink, but I think we're gonna put the pink one in because I think it's a good color for now. So pink one, and then we have the Popcorn and the Tomb. I'm still a member of Tomb Gang. We're keeping this bad boy in there. I really like this one. It's a little overstable. I think it'd also be good to throw one of these Stardust ones. Pretty fun, but not doing that. So instead, we're putting the Tone Popcorn back up there, and I need an understable putter. Cosmic Fury. You know what? We might throw a Watt back in there. No, I've thrown the Watt too much. I want to try something. I want to try something new. And what I haven't thrown very much are Lunas. And I have this Ledgestone Luna that is pretty understable from what I remember, but it feels better than that Popcorn. So we're gonna put a Luna in the bag, and that's gonna be the new bag for today. Hopefully you enjoy, and hopefully I have some good suggestions for the course. I have to get there because sunset's in an hour and a half, and we gotta play. All right, 631, par 4, hole 1. There's the interval. Oh yeah. I guess the one good thing is you get much better skips, unless I just went in something. I'll throw my second. We'll be off to the races. Let's go this honey. There we go. That's nice. All right, good shots. Today I want to do a couple things here. I want to, one, see if the course is like still worth coming and playing, because genuinely, is this even going to be worth filming at again? This might be my last video here, maybe ever, but good news, I do hear Lucas. He always is the man with a plan. He has some ideas, but he apparently already has a plan for how to fix some of these holes that are going to get destroyed. As you'll see on the next hole, it went from a pretty nice, interesting, somewhat technical shot. You have to throw a really specific spike hyzer or a forehand or go straight up the gut, but now they've just taken out walls of trees down this side. But I want to try to shoot a good round as well, because I'm potentially going to be playing a flex start tomorrow and then probably a 1-round C tier on Sunday. That one's probably for sure. There's like really no one signed up in MPO, but the good thing about this year is about like my commitments and my stuff and my journey for me that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, rather than just like doing stuff for the sake of videos. Now it's just doing stuff for the sake of my disc golf career and then sharing that in videos, which is a much healthier way to do it. You know what, why not? We'll start off by testing out this Luna. Oh, it's kind of slick actually, like really slick. Interesting. Gotta go. Never mind, it's parked. I also want to make some suggestions today. I was like, hey, this is my thoughts for making these holes a little more interesting. And starting off here, I think one thing that could happen, since there's much more skips now, is one, just keeping that fence line, wherever that fence line is, make that the OB line. You used to be able to just throw on the top of that ridge and have another about 60 or 70 feet. But if you keep that OB, I think it'd be sweet. And you can even push this basket back only about 50 or 60 feet, but then you have to kind of come through these entrances, maybe put the basket by the tree back there, and it turns into a much more difficult shot because you have to go under the ceiling or hyzer over everything. This hole is where some of the sadness really starts to begin, because this just used to be a wall of trees on this side. So you have to have a really specific stall hyzer over them. And now it's just 270 feet on a backhand. My kind of suggestions for this hole are pretty simple, honestly. There's a position that's way back in the woods. It's like 460 feet up a hill a little bit, or 475. It's a really tough par 3. Maybe just push it back another 30 feet, call it a par 4, or keep it there and make it a pro par 3 and a am par 4. Probably just a chicane on the backhand. I could also try a forehand, which I think I'm gonna do with a Tesla, just to kind of get the forehand warm, really test it out and see how I'm liking this guy. Feels like a cheater line, but now that, I mean, that's 100% the line I will take every time, especially if I play something sanctioned here. I like that Tesla. I really like, oh no! Hey, it's all right. We get to practice our circle edge putts. Here's the chicane. There's just no reason ever to not do that. The interesting thing I'm seeing here is there's 9 holes that kind of are inside of this tree line and then come back this way. It was the OG back 9 before 2 baskets got stolen off the front 9. And then they added 9 holes in the middle. So we'll play these first 3 and then we'll go across the way. I think that's where really we'll start to see the madness. Luckily, it's just, I mean, it opens up this hole. I do like that OB just staying over there. And you can even make that line OB so that the hyzer has a little danger. Just a little disappointing. And I'm glad I remembered those comments about the Tesla, because I honestly really don't mind the flatness of this at all. What was nice about this off-season bag, and I mean continues to be, because I haven't fully reverted back, and I guess I never will. So I guess this is just kind of my bag that will evolve from now. Probably have to throw some Emperors and Dynasties and some other stuff in there. But throwing even the small amount of times that I did with the disc that I had to throw in this bag forced a lot of shots that I just was less comfortable with. And so I feel like my mind has been opened a little bit to like, throw flatter disc, throw whatever, like you can make it happen and make it work. Because I kind of had to do that. I think even though it was so few times, it was over a long enough time span that it helped rewire my brain a little bit, I guess. And that's really helpful. On to 3. Oh, by the way, this is the position for this 480 foot par 3. I think if they just back it up another 50 to 100 feet, and like you have to go through this gap, I guess that's encroaching on another fairway, but could be interesting. Well, this is where hole 3 would be, but it looks like, oh, they took out the, what? They took out the big tree that was like a massive tree in the middle of the fairway where the short position was, 520 out. I see the back tree for the 730 foot position, but there's people on the fairway. So we're just gonna skip the hole 4. So I guess we're playing out of 17 holes. Hopefully we don't have to skip any more, but I really don't know kind of what to suggest. There's an interesting like Stallheiser par 3 that you can make out left, or even just like a shorter par 3 that goes in between this first tree cluster and the second one, so you just have to throw a little forehand or trust the hyzer over the OB road. This one, they did take out some of the trees. They left in enough that that long position, I think, will still be a pretty good hole. So I don't feel like my suggestions need to be taken. I just think it's a fun exercise for this video and for myself, because I would love to design a course one day, besides just the little safari layouts that I make. Speaking of, I gotta make some more of those. It does look like the basket for hole 3 is still in, even though it's pretty crappy, kind of what's happening to the course. Like, it's none of these guys' fault who are out here just working. So I think the city is the one who was deciding to put this in, and it could be just completely necessary and just really unfortunate luck. Just kind of stinks what's happening. It's just, I don't know if anyone's at fault. It's just a bad situation. They did take down a couple trees that I think actually makes this hole better, because it's a 480 foot par 3, and those trees would kind of eat up decent shots for it being so far, and there's a lot of just air and wind that can play with your disc. I think now having a little more open line to it, it makes it easier for sure, but I also think it makes it maybe a little more fair or better. Maybe I'm just not good enough that it was a little too hard for me, but I actually don't hate what's happened here. And that's what they kept. This might not actually be as bad as I thought. A lot of people were freaking out on Facebook, understandably so, because this really stinks. But I think it potentially could have been worse. We'll throw the Wild Honey, just hyzer flip. You have a little wind, nothing major, but a little bit of a tail right to left, so. I threw way too much hyzer. I swooped that one. Shoot. Well, should be a par. Ooh, you know what? We gotta try the Sphinx out. See how flippy it is. Oh, it's not? Bro. I mean, it goes far. What? Somehow I still have a putt here. Actually, it was decent distance, not great. That Sphinx. I'm hoping. I just thought about form things too much and threw a bad shot and didn't realize, because I was way more stable than I thought it would be. Oh gosh. Yeah, oh, good tree. Oh my gosh. 2 down through 3 holes. Unfortunately, so far, seems like every hole, except for hole 1, if you just add that OB on the right side with the fence, it's just made it more difficult. Maybe we should just call it OB. Like that last hole, maybe I should have been OB to make this course a little more difficult, since they took the trees out. But they made things a lot easier here, because there used to be trees lining this right side, and now it's just a pretty wide open flip up hyzer. Oh my, shank job. Wow. Maybe it should have been the Sky Goat. Definitely should have been. Oh, it's too understable. Maybe not. Get through. Ah. Our 5th hole's got a little bit of a shaded tee pad down here, seemingly a little precarious. I think I'll probably disc up to that Tesla a little faster, just hit my aim point, It's only about 250, 260 feet. Maybe I'll try this ravine. Yeah, that ravine was pretty good. Shorted it a bit to possibly just outside the circle. Maybe just inside. Oh, committed. All right. So far, honestly, this hasn't changed all that much except this hole. There is now a fence where I want to like hit to skip up. So now I have to kind of air it over the fence. Oh, they opened up that left side a lot though for a forehand. I'm not really a big forehand guy, but I think I'm going to try it with the interval. That's going to be right in that fence. JK, short of the fence. Did not hit it well. Let's try out this Sphinx and see if it was a fraud or if it was just me. Okay, it's a Sphinx. But it's pretty overstable for being a 169. Holy crap. Perfect shot, though. I love that disc. This is one of those shots that if your friend was to throw it and you walk up to the lie with them, you have to be like, hey, I admire the confidence. Just, this is not even close. This is one of the more unfortunate happenings. A little cracked tee pad, so I'll actually tee off from behind it. This is gonna make this hole a little more interesting. 500 feet down there. You guys might have heard a while that I was making fun of how this one's a par 5. Well, they changed it on Udis to a par 4, which I think is definitely more accurate. So we'll tee off from just behind the tee pad. I don't know if that's technically legal or not. For some reason, this tree was never in my head, but now I'm thinking about it. It looks like what happened here is they just needed to make a road to go from where they're working back there to where they're working up there. And I don't know how much craziness is actually gonna happen between these lines. Maybe it's a lot more than I think and they're gonna run something through here and the course is gonna get shut down. But so far, it's still playable. I don't know if I'd play it that much, but definitely still playable, especially for like fairway drivers. This is a good course for it. Actually, I'll throw the Brave. Just pump a hyzer up there. Missed the Mando, dude. What is happening to my throws? Maybe the destruction of the home course was actually to my game. Psychological warfare. Drop zones right between these double Mandos. Just throw on a touch of flex. If I can save double bogey, that'd be electric. It's short, but it's some sort of a look. And this is the type of round you want to play before you go and play your first sanction rounds of the year. Luckily, I believe I have good excuses. No one wants to hear them, so it doesn't matter. But in my head, this isn't as bad as it looks, which is, I guess, all that matters. That's not bad. Also, to make things double interesting, there's a Brave back there. I don't know exactly where it got off to, but I guess it's for somebody now, not me. Unfortunate, but I don't really feel like I need that spot right now anyways. And I probably shouldn't. I think as many discs I added to the bag is gonna be good for the long run. But I'm realizing for these tournaments, the rest of this round is gonna be whittling down how many discs I actually need. Luckily, the courses aren't insanely difficult. Good news though, double bogey brings us fast to even. This hole is a 550-foot par 4, so I got the opportunity to get that birdie back. Probably not gonna even get close to the eagle today. Oh, that's nice. Yes, I threw a committed shot. I didn't think I'd see one of those all day. Chicane could just float a little and hyzer in there. Oh no. Oy, oy, oy. Yes. Go. I thought I'd have more suggestions for how the course should be changed. I think this hole should be changed just because I don't like this hole. But through 9 holes and 1 down. Would love to be 5 to this back 9 total. Figure out which disc I'm going to be throwing for these tournaments this weekend. Start it flat, hit it hard, let it drift. Skip. Oh, there's a fence there. Oh, and that. Okay, great. Skip up there, baby. Oh, I take that every time. Ravine versus rise. Gotta figure which one, if either, I want in the bag right now. Here's the ravine. Man, it is quite overstable. Very similar. The ravine's a little more comfortable. Rise maybe has a little more bite. I think the ravine's going in the bag right now. No, dude. Finish the throw. Oh gosh. Slipping out from under me. Here we go. What? That's smooth. There we go. I turned off instead of on to record my pitch up, but I'm under the basket for par. Gotta be honest, seems like this back part of the course is just gonna be the same. So it's really only a few holes that are affected. They're affected in a pretty major way, but I really only think it changes the scoring average out here by maybe a stroke, maybe. So I really don't think much is gonna change, especially with that par 4 now having no tee pad. It's probably only gonna be like one stroke. So I came into this expecting this course to be absolutely destroyed based on how it was being talked about online, and I'm pleasantly surprised. Kind of sad what's happened, but not devastating at all. So I would say, like, my home course did not get destroyed. I don't think I want to play here nearly as much with all the construction going on. I'm pleasantly surprised, and hopefully there's some good things that are gonna happen to those couple holes that I already gave suggestions for, so. It's gotta go. Oh, interesting. Nice. Get underneath it, or just get lucky. Perfect. Make this putt down, the best protein shake ever for a quick energy boost. Birdie the last hole, get the 5 under. Luckily, a lot of extenuating circumstances today that hindered my play, so I still feel confident about tomorrow. There's one consideration I have to make though, whether or not I care about the ratings. That is not, and you know, I think that makes it a non-consideration because I committed myself that ratings weren't going to be a factor, which is a little unfortunate because if they have the same tiers for Pro Tour registration as they did last year, and these ones do get added to Tuesday's rating update, if I don't stay above 990 rated, which would happen, I think, if I shoot below 970-ish, then I'll end up being in Tier 3 registration rather than Tier 2. And I was in Tier 3 last year and didn't get into Waco or Austin without an exemption, so just have to play well. Which means I just have to focus on every shot. Just like that. All right, if you've been watching this far into the video and skipped through all the madness, I'll give you my excuses that I've had, or just my reasons for why I'm playing like I am today. I threw for maybe about 2 hours yesterday in filming that video. I trained this morning, and because I got the video up so late, I was only on my watch says 3 hours and 50 minutes of sleep, and I'm sub 6 hours of sleep every day for the last 3 or 4 days. Luckily, tomorrow is Saturday, so I'm not posting a video, meaning that I can sleep in. And we've been sleep training my baby Bogey. So yeah, it's been a lot of compounding circumstances that lead to just errant throws, and to still be able to I putted pretty well from inside the circle today, even on some interesting ones. Nothing from circle 2, but I trust myself that if I pare down this bag, which I'll tell you what I'm gonna keep after this next hole, then I trust that I can play well over these next couple events on Saturday for flex and Sunday for a little 1-round seats here. For me, it's just about getting reps of throws and putts under pressure, which to me is having ratings, because they were so important to me, so I just need to build that out of my system, so energy time. You know what, I'm only drinking half of this. These Rockin' protein shakes from Shamrock Farms are so good. I savor these. I down every protein shake, except for these bad boys. Get them at Costco, they're the best. So this is what my bag's gonna be, actually. I'll just tell you now. P2X is for putting. Really glad I got the chicane for my approach disc. Only gonna have the tomb, so take out the Luna. I'll keep the Sky Goat and the MD1 in there, and I will keep this Ravine, but only for backhands. I don't know if I'll throw it all that much, if at all. I do like the Rise, but the feel of the Ravine is just a little shallower. It's very comfortable for my little baby hands. Rise is out. We'll keep the Passion and the weapon. Brave is out. Salute for shanking it and losing it. We'll keep the weapon as well, similar to the Tesla, but a little slower. Sphinx out. Interval also out for now. I think I will have one of these in the bag during the season because I really like the feel of it, but obviously we'll see. And for now, I'm gonna throw that Ganon Cloudbreaker back in the bag because I realized I was a little more used to it than I thought. Wild Honey, and then I haven't thrown the Gravity Bomb here, but I do like how this feels, and I loved when I reviewed it, and then when I threw it in the throw video. So it's gonna be a pretty pared down bag. 10 discs plus my putting putters, and I think that's just about right. 420 feet. I'm always a little too stubborn to throw the driver because I can get fairways there, and I've thrown a mid to the basket before, but gotta get the ego out of play and just throw the right shot, which I think is just gonna be this Wild Honey. 420, straight down there. Man, I never turn it this enough on this hole. Hit that string kick right. Well, I got all the distance and more. I thought this would be a send-off video for this course, but instead I think it's still a good little training grounds for me. I'm pumped, and I think they could still hold events here as long as construction's not active. 50-footer to end it. Yep. Let's go. What a round. I'm happy. Thanks for watching. This video was much more positive than I thought it was gonna be. Go watch another video if you want. That form video, if you're interested, is right up there. Really interesting. And if you wanna watch the video when this course came out, it's with my buddy TJ. We had a blast. It's called Finally. It's right there. And you'll also meet Lucas, who's OG. You're the best. See you Monday.